Hello, this is yours truly, Charles Prosper, your consistency success coach. And in this installment, I want to talk about public enemy number one of consistency, procrastination. And I want to give you some techniques to overcome procrastination and to remain consistent. First, let's examine and ask ourselves, why do we procrastinate? Well, I want to say once and for all that procrastination has nothing to do with laziness, indifference to doing something. In fact, some of the most ambitious people around also procrastinate. Procrastination is rooted in fear of overwhelm, fear of not being able to handle the particular activity. Some of the classic examples of procrastination would be waiting to the last minute to do one's taxes. There is a fear of overwhelm in doing taxes, a fear of discovering something unpleasant in doing the taxes. So if we are procrastinating to do this, we are doing this out of fear, out of overwhelm. When we start a new task, let us say getting up every morning to go to the gym, it is also a feeling of overwhelm, of not knowing if we will be able to handle this on a consistent and regular basis. So we wait, we procrastinate, we're not ready yet. People who say that they want to start a business oftentimes will procrastinate by taking a business seminar, a course, then another, then another, then another. They become consumers in an ever non-ending process of getting ready. They're always ready for the next workshop, for the next training, because they need more information. So a person can get into a state of procrastination by consuming excessive amounts of information in an attempt to postpone an activity which is causing fear by saying that they're not ready yet. The person who doesn't want to start their business project because they're not ready yet. They need another seminar, they need more training, they need more preparation. So it becomes an endless cycle of more and more and more. That's why I say sometimes that motivational gurus can oftentimes demotivate you, because if you become addicted to information versus action, there's never enough information that you can consume. There's always the next seminar and the next seminar and the next seminar. And then there develops a certain addiction to this particular guru's ideas, such that you may not even decide to take a risk unless you can find some kind of justification for taking the risk in one of the teachings of the guru, such that it's never enough, because there's always another seminar, another training, and so on and so forth. You know, if we just think back a few hundred years, there weren't any type of gurus and Tony Robbins and all of these motivational gurus that we have right now in the modern day society. And our access to all of these gurus by means of YouTube videos and all type of communication devices that we have now, there were not all of these motivational gurus with the giants of industry that have established names in the annals of finance. Many and most of the successful, super successful people of 100 or 200 years ago did so by taking action and learning by doing. They didn't have a motivational seminar to go to at the Sheraton before they would take action. They would take action, get a result, see the mistake, and through their dog-headed determination continue. So, first of all, we must know that procrastination is rooted in fear. Now comes the task. How do we overcome this fear? Well, there are two types of events for procrastination. There's a short-term event, for example, let us say doing taxes or going to get a root canal, which may be a one-time event. So we procrastinate for that. In cases such as these, it will be, as you see in a lot of the videos on consistency, force yourself to be consistent. Well, you indeed will have to at times force yourself through your procrastination by getting started. And there's a couple ways you can do that. For example, let's just take the idea of doing your taxes, or let us say going to the gym, or any number of things that you need to get started on. There's an incremental approach. For example, if it were a matter of overcoming procrastination through by doing your taxes on time, and you putting it off and putting it off, there's an incremental approach that you can force yourself not to do all of the taxes. Just force yourself to do 5 minutes. Force yourself to do 10 minutes. Force yourself to do 15 minutes and no more. Many times with the incremental approach and just forcing yourself to do 10 or 15 minutes and not committing yourself to doing the whole thing, you get warmed up and you begin to see that it's not that terrifying as you thought originally, and then you just get into the whole flow of it and you find yourself finishing. That is the incremental approach, which sometimes can be in starting the gym. You say, well, I don't know if I want to go, but at least I can put on my gym clothes. At least I can get in my car and drive to the gym. If I just get there and just touch some of the equipment and don't do anything else, at least I'm doing something. Well, many times in just doing this will be enough for you to go there and say, well, since I'm here, I might as well get going. So there is the incremental approach in overcoming procrastination for short-term events. Now, when it's a long-term project that requires you to do a repeated activity day after day after day, there's a different approach in remaining consistent, because consistency is something that involves doing a repeated activity over a course of a long period of time. Let us say you're studying for you want to study for an advanced degree to better your future by getting a master's in a certain subject. So you determine that the way to do this consistently is to get up every morning, let us say 5 o'clock a.m. and study from 5 a.m. to 6 a.m. in the morning for an hour before you go to work. Now, initially there will be some resistance to break the inertia of what you have been doing before into a new habit. There's always this resistance to change. This is just human nature. But in the case of studying for this advanced degree, you need to keep in mind that the secret to being consistent in, say, studying for an advanced degree, or let us say going to the gym every day and getting into shape, or saving, for example, X amount of money to amass enough capital to start a business. The secret is in rhythm, cyclic rhythm. And I'm talking about same time, same place. This is the secret of the universe. This is the secret of how the universe operates. We know that at a certain time the sun will rise and the sun will set. We know that. We know that cyclically the planets will revolve around the sun. We know cyclically that we get sleepy at a certain time and we will wake up at a certain time. The heart beats with a rhythm. We breathe with a rhythm. Our eye blinks with a rhythm. So the secret of consistency when it is a long-term project is to perform whatever activity it is that you need to perform, same time, same place. Same time and same place. That is, if you got up every morning at 5 a.m. and studied for an hour on your kitchen table, let us say, and you did this consistently for the first 20 to 40 days, you would then, after about 40 days, you go into automatic pilot, where it is no more forcing. It is something that is a natural part of who you are. Discipline dissipates after consistent practice. My experience has been that if you perform any type of activity in the same time, in the same place, such as studying or exercising or anything of this nature, after about 40 days, there's a shift and you go into automatic pilot. Discipline dissipates, and now, because this is who you are, you want to do this activity, and it is no more of an effort. It is something now that you enjoy doing. So one of the key secrets to becoming consistent and overcoming procrastination is to perform a long-term project that has to be repeated at the same time and at the same place. And you will find that once you hit that 40-day mark, you go into a state of flow, and then it's something that you want to do. You don't want to miss. In the beginning, you were procrastinating. Now you don't want to miss. You don't want to miss your workout. You don't want to miss your study schedule. Is the way it begins to work. And there is another factor in overcoming procrastination, and that is recognizing the value of what it is that you say that you want to accomplish. Your why has to be big enough. The value of achieving that goal has to be bigger than the discomfort and the pain and the change of having to do it day after day after day initially. If you, for example, are studying for an advanced degree, you have to know why you're studying for an advanced degree, because you want to improve yourself. You want to improve the lives of your children and your family. You want a better world for them and for you. So keeping in the forefront of your mind the value of what it is that you are being consistent for gives you the fuel and the motivation to continue and to move forward. So your why has to be big enough, and you have to remind yourself why in order to remain consistent. Consistency is very powerful because it gains its power over time. It becomes a cumulative type of effect, that the more you do, the more you want to do. The more you do, the more you want to do. Consistency can create no less than what seems to be miracles. I have seen consistency work in my life during many stages of my life. Let me give you an example in the area of physical fitness. Here is a picture of me when I was 42 years old. I was in terrible shape, and I was getting worse and worse each year. So what happened was, somewhere around 59, I got into such poor shape that I said, that's it. I see that I'm not going to get any better. I'm going to continue to deteriorate. I'm not going to be around and healthy for my daughter. So this was my motivation, my value that I kept in the forefront of my mind, and that made me determined and committed to remain consistent. Now, here is a picture of me, a recent picture of me, now at 76, compared to what I looked when I was 40 some years old. Here I am now at 76 years old. And it's easy for people to mistake me for 57. Easy. I have no problem with that whatsoever. And the funny thing about it, I'm a single guy here in Colombia, and I have discovered unlike what I thought before, that young women really don't care. They don't really care about the age factor when you are as healthy and vibrant as I keep myself. They just don't care, you know. So basically, youth is a choice. It is not how old you are, but how old you choose to be. You see, I'm kind of digressing a bit, but I want to give you a little bit of an idea as to how consistency works and how you can make it work even better. You have to have a self-concept of who you choose to be. You have to have a self-concept that you are a consistent person. If you believe yourself to be a consistent person, this also will help you to remain consistent and to dispel any type of procrastination. And there's something that I did when I was very young. When I was, I think, like 25 years old, I looked in the mirror and I said to myself, Charles, I will never let an old man move into this body. And to this day, I have kept my promise. I have a self-concept that I don't believe that I'll ever grow old. Now, you might believe that I'll grow old. She might believe it, or he might believe it, but I don't believe it. It's not part of my self-belief, how I see myself. And as a result of it, I am who I am now. So a lot depends on your self-concept of who you choose to be, in the sense that who you choose, how do you choose to see yourself? Choose to see yourself as a person, declare yourself to be a person who is consistent. I am a consistent person. Consistency is who I am. Accept this as a concept, and you will find that procrastination also will dissipate and disappear. So, in conclusion, I want to say that procrastination is something that can be overcome. It is overcome, first of all, by understanding what is the value of what it is that you're trying to achieve. How important is it? What is the why big enough? You need to understand that if it's something that has to be done over a period of time, it has to be done in a same time, same place, manner, preferably, in order for it to gain momentum and become something that puts you on automatic pilot. And keep in mind that you are overcoming procrastination, which is a type of fear of change, fear of overwhelm, fear of the unknown. But it is something that once you begin, you start to erode the fear over time, and usually after 40 days you find yourself without the resistance at all, and you're doing it on automatic pilot. So procrastination can be overcome, and consistency can be yours. You make a decision, you move forward, and realize that through consistency and realizing the value of what it is that you're trying to achieve, you will achieve your goal. Okay, so as I always like to say before I go, stay consistent and be successful. Okay, I hope you got some insights on the mechanism of procrastination and how to overcome it. So before we go, I would like to invite you to be a member of my community of consistent-minded people at the Prosper Consistency Success membership site, where you will become a part of a group of consistent-minded people where we help each other remain consistent and focused until we achieve our goals. You will be assigned an accountability partner who will help you to stay focused until you achieve your goal, as you will be assigned to another member as their accountability partner to help them stay focused and achieve their goal. Additionally, there will be live coaching calls where you can call in and get answers to any of your questions and challenges and problems that you have on the path to your consistency and achieving your goal. And Occasionally, we have guest speakers who come in to give fresh new insights on the subject of consistency and success. So, without further ado, I would invite you to go right now to www.consistencysuccesscoach.com, and you will be glad that you did. Also, if you enjoy my videos, spread the love, smash that like button, and help me to extend my reach. And of course, if you want to be notified of all of the new videos that I put out consistently, just hit the subscribe button and you will be notified right away. So, in passing, as I always wish you, stay consistent and be successful.